Welcome to the WFCU Center. It's a lovely Friday night, and it's time for NBL Canada basketball action. The Moncton Magic, who are in their first game of their Western road trip, they're playing against the Windsor Express. Visitors here alongside JP, Justin Prince. A good evening to each and every one of you. JP, the Moncton Magic first, as I mentioned, they're at the beginning of the Western road trip. They won 2 in a row after dropping 3 in a row. So a lot of high hopes for them, considering that Joe Salermo's team has officially gelled and they have become formidable contenders for the Atlantic Division within the last number of games.
Yes, they have so far. As we mentioned in part on Facebook Live earlier today, this team has been looking very good, especially on the defensive side, because in about 8 of their 17 games this season, they've been able to hold their opponents to under 100 points now. It's just a matter, again, as you mentioned, starting to get those veteran presences. It's just a matter of getting the scoring together, because as a group, they're still 8th in the league overall as a scoring group. It's just a matter of making sure that that gels together.
And you know what? One of the players that can help them out in those scoring tears and runs would be Terry Thomas, because he's phenomenal. He's leading all over.
Yeah, 3rd in the league in points per game this season so far. 2nd in minutes per game, 1st in total minutes. So on the floor, when you're on the floor for about 39 minutes a game like he has been, he's been absolutely helping this team out very well, scoring efficiently night after night after night, and a potential double-double threat helping out this team. He's one of those, again, like you said, one of those main stand-up players, especially on a team that also has Anthony Anderson, Al Storr, and a lot of different players, especially Jason Galeese recently.
Yeah, Jason Galeese played for the KW Titans last year, and he made an impact for that KW team with the addition of some of those new players along the way. But you know what, that's just one side right there. We mentioned on social media that this is the battle of the longest running coaches in NBL Canada history. We talked about Joe Salermo's side. Let's go over to Bill Jones, because a lot of people were impressed at how they done during their Eastern road trip. They won against PEI this past Saturday night, and then a few days after that, they beat the St. John's Edge for the first time at the Mile 1 Center, which is a lot of confidence for them. They split that series against St. John's, but once again, a lot of high hopes for them riding into this one, considering that this is the first game of the year here at the WFCU Center.
Yeah, 3 and 4 on that road trip if you include the last game in the Central Division region before going to the Atlantic. So they have been working fairly good on the offensive side and getting things together more on the defensive side. But again, it's about keeping that momentum going if you're Coach Bill Jones and his squad, because this is a team that's been in the middle pack of just about everything. They have also at times let big leads go away in their games, especially here at home at the WFCU Center. So they got to find a way to get that keeping together, especially in what could be a very tight matchup here.
Yeah, the Windsor Express, they've known for the last couple of years to pick it up in the second half of the season. This may start here, because after all this, they're going to have a lot of good games around at home, and this could be one of them. Quickly, keys to the games for each of these squads.
When it comes to Moncton, I think one of the main things, you got to make sure you do not draw a ton of fouls, because one of the top free throw shooting teams in the league this year has been Windsor as a group. They will grab the free points in this kind of a matchup as well when it comes to Moncton's side. I think you have to figure out the way to close it out. I was discussing this with Brett Hedges, who will discuss this even more, who spoke with Coach Joe Salerno. One of the main things has been the factor of trying to figure out who will take the game-winning shots down the stretch to seal off the game. So, in that, they got to figure out, okay, I want you to be the guy tonight. They got to figure that out if it comes to a close game. For Windsor, they got to knock it out, especially on the glass when Moncton is on the offensive side, because top offensive rebounding team, 16 a game, mind you, has been Moncton. Heating up the glass, that versus Windsor has 6 advantage in rebounding a game for the season. So you got to make sure you box out, pull them out of the paint, especially on that offensive second chance opportunities. As well as Windsor, you got to make sure you keep that pace up, figure things out, and keep consistency, because they have been on the higher rankings in terms of total points. They got to find a way to keep the ball handling together, and find a way to help their teammates and get some easy points. In other words, it's going to be an absolute battle based on the fact of rest of the season.
And here we go. Big game coming up right here. Lovely Friday night. It's the Moncton Magic and the Windsor Express. JP will be on the call with Brett Hedges when we return here at the WFCU Center in just a moment. You're watching the Windsor Express on Moncton TV.
Number 10, Al Stewart. Number 12, Anthony Anderson. Number 13, Terry Thomas. Number 21, Jeremy Williams. Number 41, Anthony Cox. Head coach is Joe Salerno.
Looks like the officials are trying to set the tempo early, and the captains. Do you want to get going before or after the national anthem here? After, yeah. Got it. Relax. I'm relaxed. We'll be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by Christy Palazzolo. Joining Christy in center court, carrying the Canadian flag, is Mike Piao. Our father of the game, the Windsor Express and Curtis J.K. Printing would like to acknowledge and show our appreciation to our dedicated fathers all season long by highlighting someone new each game. Thanks, Mike and Curtis J.K. Printing.
And after a great performance of the national anthem, everyone's getting all set to go. As while the cold may be outside, the fans are all set for a nice, hot, intense action of NBL basketball between the Windsor Express and the visiting Moncton Magic. Good evening, I'm Justin Prince. Alongside me in the booth today is Brett Hedges, as we're just about set to go for what should be an entertaining matchup, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Pardon me.
Absolutely, the Moncton Magic and the Windsor Express battle in the league as well, coming out of the Atlantic.
Winning streak to start off the season, 3-5 on the road, and starting off a long road trip for this game starting off tonight. They then go for the back-and-back to Morrill against London, then move on to KW, Cape Breton, and finally go back home on January 24th. So a long trip for them away from home. For the Windsor Express, they are returning from their own road trip, as this is the first time back at the WFCU Center for them, going 3-4 on the road trip. That started at the end of 2017. And just like that, it's 2018 as there's the ceremonial tip-off.
Yeah, it was a nice long 7-game road trip, 5 games out east. That's a long time to be away from home. They had 2 games away from before the clock turned to 2018. Had a nice long 5-game road trip ending with a 2-game set in Newfoundland. Had a pretty good showing in those 5 games, really competitive ball. The biggest margin of defeat was that game against Moncton, where they lost by 11, I believe it was 12 points, pardon me, or it was 101-89. And that game was very competitive. Windsor just unable to knock down shots at key times in that game and unable to really get it closer than, I believe, 5 or 6 points down the stretch. So they were able to then come back with a big game against the St. John Riptide, fell by 4 points in that contest. Then they rebounded with a big victory over the Island Storm, 125-116. Got their offense kick-started in that game. And then, of course, the 2-game set against the St. John's Edge, with a split on back-to-back nights. You really can't ask for more against a team that's playing as well as St. John's has this year, Justin.
Yeah, you can't really, with the St. John's Edge performing really well. That game that Windsor won in St. John's, the first ever home loss at the Mile 1 Center. As we're just a few moments away from the start of the opening tip between the Magic and the Express. Your starting lineups for tonight. Let's start off with the Magic. Al Stewart and Anthony Anderson starting off alongside with Terry Thomas. They'll also have Jeremy Williams and Anthony Cox to round out their starting 5. For the Windsor Express, it'll be Logan Stutz, Maurice Jones, Chad Frazier, Shaquille Keith, and DeMontre Harris.
And what a great addition DeMontre Harris has been to this roster, Justin. 6'10", 230 pounds, or 240 pounds, pardon me. Just a big man that knows how to establish himself down low. We've seen him use a couple of nice post moves on the road trip, be able to cash in specifically against St. John's. In the second game, he had a really good start. I believe it was 12 points in the first half. And we're looking forward to some big things from the big man in the middle, number 44. And he really shores up the forward spot for Windsor, who had Desmond Hubert at that spot as well. It frees up Logan Stutz to play the forward spot instead of the center spot, and it makes this Windsor offense a lot more dynamic.
And we'll see how dynamic it is tonight as we're set to go. The opening tip's underway. Cox gets the opening tip for the Magic. And Al Stewart will start off the first set. 2 sets being set up. Thomas moving to the right side. Pulls out for the jump shot. That's going to move up the back rim. Shaquille Keith with a rebound.
Nice look for Terry Thomas on the opening possession of the game.
And Shaquille Thomas trying to pass it to Chad Frazier. That one tipped out of bounds. It's going to be inbounded on the side. Express keep possession. As that's a fast and fury first 21 seconds as Shaquille Keith inbounds it directly to Maurice Jones. Jones steps back, passes it back to Keith. Going to Stutz in the post. There's the mismatch double team coming from Cox. 5 on the shot clock. Keith calling for it as Maurice Jones drives. Spin move over Thomas. Can he get it? No, he can't get the bank as Stutz gets the rebound. Misses the putback. That one tapped out. And Thomas able to come up with it. Anthony Anderson slows down the pace.
Missed opportunity by Logan Stutz. He'll look to correct it the next time up the floor, but now it's time to get a stop for the Express as they go down low to Jeremy Williams.
And Jeremy Williams post move. That's off the back rim. Rebounded by DeMontre Harris as Jones will bring it up. 1 minute into the first quarter here in Windsor, Ontario. Still looking for the first basket of the game. As Chad Frazier pulls out for the jump shot. That's going to miss. Tapped out, and it goes all the way back to Shaquille Keith.
Yeah, Anthony Cox unable to put 2 hands on that basketball. Free possession for the Express.
And on the free possession, it's going to be Harris in the post. Spinning. It's poked loose by Cox. He's able to get the steal. And it's going to be pushed forward. It's this one. Alley-oop! Jeremy Harris unable to get it up, but still gets the layup on the follow-through.
Nice job by Williams to have some patience. Didn't necessarily have the best pass. Wasn't able to get a clean grip on it, so he brought it down, established himself, and scored the big bucket. 2-0 Moncton.
And the former Texas Longhorn has the first basket of the game in this one. As Harris pulls up for the jump shot, he's got it!
The big man showing off some range, shooting over the 6'9" defender Anthony Cox. This should be a fun matchup between 2 of the best bigs in NBL Canada.
Meanwhile, pick and roll, Cox going to the basket, that's going to roll in.
Beautiful finish from Cox with the reverse layup. Had the defender who had switched in on him use the rim as that extra protector for 2 points. 4-2.
And a nice little pick and roll once again set up. The Magic averaging about 20 assists on the season as Frazier goes to Harris down low, draws the contact, and he's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
Nice job by DeMontre Harris. That's a good, overall good possession of basketball from the Windsor Express. Good drive and dish to the big man who soaked up the contact, got the shot off.
And now Harris will go to the line for the first time tonight. The Windsor Express, second in the league in free throw percentage, averaging about 78%.
And that's an area where in the past, Windsor has struggled a little bit in free throw shooting. It's kind of been their Achilles heel in years past, as we see Trey go 1 for 2.
And Demontre Harris, 67% as a shooter. As Anderson pulls up, misses. Tapped down as Stutz gets the board. Gonna pass it back now to Maurice Jones as Jones gets the pick. He's gonna pull up for the jump shot. That's gonna bounce off the back of rim.
We've certainly seen Maurice Jones pull up from three a lot more this season than in last year. Knocking it down on a much better rate though too. So we'll see him shoot that a couple times tonight.
Meanwhile, Thomas drives inside. That's going to bounce off the rim again. Rebounded by Harris. As past the 9-minute-to-go mark here in the first quarter, Magic up 4-3. And what has been all about defense. Stutz has the mismatch. He's crowded inside the paint. Kick, get it off the rim. That was blocked on the second chance as this is going to be Stewart. Gets it to Thomas for three. That's no good. Rebounded by Stutz. And Logan Stutz able to grab the board. He'll bring it up himself.
It was Anthony Cox who made a nice defensive play on the previous possession. Freed up Terry Thomas for an open three, unable to cash in. We've got 8:22 to go here in the first quarter.
And meanwhile, Keith going to go for the spin move in the post. That is no good. And again, another miss as Stewart is going to bring it down. Gets it to Anderson. Inside on a pick and roll slam dunk from Cox.
Slick feed from Anthony Anderson to Anthony Cox for the big one-handed slam. It's 6-3 Moncton, 8 minutes to go here in the first.
And Cox has 2/3 of his team's points. 4 points already on the night. Pick and roll to Harris as he's going to get it up and in.
Nice soft touch inside by the big man on the roll. Beautiful pass from Chad Frazier. Barely had to flick his wrist and it was in the basket for two.
And a very quick point once again. Anderson gets the pass from Cox as he's going to get it tapped back towards him. Stripped away from Jones. Jones will lead the break as Stutz calling for the perimeter pass. Jones going to get it off the bank glass, misses. Harris trying to get the rebound, couldn't keep it in. That's going to be a turnover for the Express.
Maurice Jones a little cold to start off the first quarter, but as we know, it doesn't take much for him to heat up. We see a couple misses early, but I have a feeling Maurice Jones is going to get himself to the basket a couple times tonight.
Maurice Jones, last season, one of the top players, rookies, as in the Rookie of the Year, averaging 17 points per game this season. As on the pick and roll, it's going to be Anderson passing around. Shot on the perimeter, missed. That's going to be rebounded by Keith. That shot missed by Williams as the Magic get the steal. That was Williams coming up with it. And now the Magic will slow down. Trying to reach in was Harris, but Thomas got to the basket, draws the whistle. And that's going to be, for the first time tonight, the Magic to the line.
Yeah, and he's the one that poked that ball loose on the previous possession. Gets rewarded on the offensive end. We'll take the bump and we'll go to the free throw line. Terry Thomas, a guy who was an MVP candidate last year after having a fantastic year for the Storm, follows his head coach over to Moncton and has been just as great. Scored 40 points earlier in the game this year. Has been fantastic and a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, this season he is third in the league in scoring in terms of points per game, second in minutes per game, first in the total minutes as he makes the first shots. The Express, the number one team in the league, I should say, in terms of getting fouls drawn on them, as Frazier's going to drive it in.
Nice job by Frazier. No hesitation there as he turned the corner. Saw the defender was a step behind, so he took it all the way to the cup for two. 8-7, Moncton leads over Windsor.
Yeah, Frazier on that basket, up with the points. 10th start of the season for him as Stewart going to pass it to Anderson on the perimeter. Drives inside, tries to get over. Keith misses. Harris gets the board. Keith's going to lead the break. And Frazier tapped away, trying to get it to Frazier as Anderson, he's going to go down the floor, gets the layup.
Yeah, unfortunate turnover from Shaquille Keith. Had a man open just behind him, but he saw the open man to his left. Can't fault him for that. Just a nice defensive play there that turned into 2 points for Moncton.
It's only 10-7 Magic right now. And Maurice Jones unable to tie it on the jump shot. That one being a few feet too short as this one pulling up. Anderson for three. That one misses. Bounced around, able to get the offensive rebound. As driving inside, Al Stewart gets the basket. And that was Kevin Farrell Thomas who came in on the last free throw attempt, able to get the rebound and set up that 2 points.
Nice job by Al Stewart to catch that ball on the run and get a quick two before the Windsor Express could respond. There's a three from Stutz off the rim.
And Stutz unable to get it off there on the left side of the rim. As Thomas will stop, waiting for the pick, set up down low. This one going outside, Thomas gets it.
Yeah, you knew he wasn't going to stay cold for too much longer. Terry Thomas with another wide open look. He cans the triple. It's 15-7 for Moncton. 5:17 left in the first quarter.
And with the Magic starting to get a run together, it's 15-7. Moncton with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. With that, we'll be right back here on Knoxstrom TV in just a few moments. Be careful, that mic's very sensitive. Everything going right?
Yeah, everything's great. It's good.
Racing partner, the Windsor Express. Look them up at KineticConnection.com or visit one of 3 local stores in Windsor, Tecumseh, and LaSalle. IXL cleaners are the official cleaners of the Windsor Express. They keep our players looking fresh on game days. You too can look fresh. Just give them a call. 519-256-3426.
And welcome back, everyone, to the WFCU Center here in Windsor, Ontario, as the Magic are putting on a bit of a magic trick of a show, up 15-7, and what has been a very defensive game to start off the game. Windsor just shooting 25%, and that includes 0 for 4 from deep. Moncton 43%, and we're able to start to get a run together before the media timeout.
Pretty strong start for the Magic, like he said. Let's see what Bill Jones had to say to his crew in the timeout. Probably drawing up a nice play to get them a good shot here as we see Chad Frazier the hoop.
And a great layup through traffic, through 3 defenders, able to get it in. And that breaks Windsor's cold spell on the floor for the Magic. Stored alongside Thomas. Brent Jennings also now in the game. Farrell Thomas also on the floor. And that also includes Terrell Baines. That is the 5 on the floor for the Moncton Magic as Baines misses the shot. Stewart can't get the board. That goes out of bounds off the Express. And that's going to be a second chance. Express going to make a substitution, meanwhile, real quickly, as it's going to bring in Desmond Hebert.
And he's been a fantastic player for the Windsor Express early in the regular season. A lot of that length and athleticism down low gives them a shot blocker and someone that they can rely on deep in games if they need a shot defended.
And meanwhile, shot missed by Thomas as there's the rebound inside by Stutz on the floor. Jones, Stutz, Frazier, Hebert, as well as Raisin. Braylon Raisin. Chad Frazier cuts to the left side, drives through traffic, through 2 defenders, misses. Jennings gets the board, quick pass by Jennings as Al Stewart gonna stop by Jennings. 3-2 zone from the Express as Thomas cuts around the corner, drives by the traffic, gets the layup off the glass to go.
Terry Thomas.
And Terry Thomas makes it an 8-point game once again. Maurice Jones now will slow things down. 3:50 to go here in the first quarter. As Raisin gets the pick from Hebert. Raisin passes, Jones out to Chad Frazier. Frazier trying to make a spin move, and he's going to step on the line. That's going to be out of bounds. Turnover for the Express.
An unfortunate turnover for the Windsor Express. They try to dig back into this lead from Moncton. 17-9 now as we approach 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Both these teams coming from off a long road trip. Seems like Windsor maybe showing a little bit more rust.
Yeah, and Moncton having their situations on the way back, on the way here, I should say. As this one going to be attempted on the outside shot, missed, rebounded by Baines. Baines will just pull up with 22 and the shot clock drains it. And on the last stoppage of play coming into the game was Desnell Taylor, as he is now on the floor for the big man crew, as well as Corey Almond. Jennings having the mismatch as Stutz going to get the layup, get the hook shot on the post, I should say, getting it to go, 19-11.
And Logan's someone that the Windsor Express need to get going early and often if they want to be able to keep up with the Moncton Magic here, as Brent Jennings lets go of a shot. And what a great pickup he was for this club. What a great acquisition in the free agency. Brent Jennings, someone who has helped out multiple teams in the past, such an athletic player coming off the wing. He can defend, shoot the ball, and attack the rack too. So he's an all-around Joe Salerno kind of player, and he fits in perfectly with the Moncton Magic.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Chad Frazier, meanwhile, out Anthony Otley Jr. now into the game for the Express. Stewart gets it right back from the pass. Driving inside, Baines over Stutz. That one blocked by Hebert. That's going to be goaltending.
Yeah, unfortunately, went off the backboard before he cleared it. It's an unfortunate timing kind of thing where he was up trying to try and block the initial shot, but it went off the backboard first when he cleaned it off the glass. It's one of those bang-bang plays where it can go either way. It's 21-11 in favor of Moncton here with 2:38 to go. Windsor has got to put some balls in the bucket if they want to be able to stay close here in the first half.
Definitely agree with you. One of those free agent acquisitions from Moncton, meanwhile, coming onto the floor, Jason Calise. Stutz gets it from Raisin. Coming around the corner, passes out of the traffic, wide open. Maurice Jones for the three. He's got it!
And that's a big shot for Maurice Jones' confidence, because if he can knock down that shot, you're going to overcommit to him shooting the three-point shot. As soon as that happens, he's going to pull it down and go to the rack, as we see Brent Jennings, responding for Moncton.
Yeah, very quick response, cutting you off halfway through your response. As Brent Jennings, 5 games already in, averaging about 13 points per game since his return to the league. At one time, played for the London Lightning. Stutz gets it a Raisin. He's going to pull up with 6 on the shot clock. That's no good. Rebounded by Taylor. As Al Stewart will bring it down. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Whistle drawn as Corey Allman drives to the basket.
Got the Express defense on their heels a little bit there, as he doesn't hesitate at all. As soon as he got the ball, he was going towards the basket.
And that's just the 3rd team foul of the first quarter as well for the Express, as Allman will go to the line to shoot 2. An 86% shooter, also averaging about 10 points per game coming off the bench this season, and also somebody that's been one of those very helpful guys. Assist to turnover ratio 1.5 on the season.
You could say that Aaron Sanders, he thinks that Corey Allman's so good that Allman gives him joy. Allman joy.
Oh, yes, sir. Allman joy. I'm glad you caught up on that, Brett. I mean, sweet as candy and all that other stuff. So he surprised me last week against the Windsor Express. More on that later.
Yeah, we'll see if he's a sticky defender later in the game.
And we'll have to see as well as Maurice Jones. That one's intercepted by Allman, and he falls way back over head over heels.
Looked like he landed awkwardly, maybe as he was getting, maybe it looked like his ankle a little bit, but he looks like to be okay, just shooken up a little bit. Good play, stepping in the passing lane and making a defensive play like we were just mentioning earlier. Chad Frazier's going to check into the contest, give Maurice Jones a break.
Yeah, Marquise Clayton also had subbed in during the free throws as well. So teams making quick adjustments here. Hebert going to hand it back to Frazier. No one is in the paint as it's going to be possibly setting up. Nope, that's going to be airmailed into the second row, as that's going to be a bad turnover.
And unfortunately, it's at a time when the Express could use a big bucket. They're down by 10. It's not like they're leading and you can afford a turnover like this. When you're coming back, it takes so much energy. As Allman knocks down a huge triple, that's only going to make it harder.
And Corey Allman able to get the triple, getting this to a 13-point lead, as the Express needing to get some momentum going here as Stutz passing around. Frazier drives inside, traffic inside, draws the whistle. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And that's a great take from Chad Frazier, who has taken out a bit of a leadership role with this team as of late, being one of their lead scorers consistently over the course of this season. It was a big deal when the Windsor Express signed him early in the regular season. They waited for him to get healthy, came into the rotation, helped maybe some of the younger players get acclimated with this league. And he's helping this team come back right now as we see him make the first free throw. Chad Frazier, a great player, great pickup from the Windsor Express coming out of Cape Breton.
Yeah, playing for Cape Breton last season, averaging about 14.5 points per game on the season. Goes for 2 for 2, showing why he's averaging 77% for the line as well. As that cuts the lead now back to 11 as Jennings Guarded, driving inside. He's able to draw the whistle and the foul, as that was on Shane Stump potentially.
Yeah, and Shane is a new face to the Windsor Express lineup. Got some experience playing on the road trip. Shane Stump, big boy, coming in at 6'9", 220 pounds. An Alberta-born player from Lakecombe, Alberta. Played at Red Deer College, as well as Anthony Otley Jr. A little bit of Windsor-based trivia. Jacob Cusimano played for Red Deer as well. Son of Pete Cusimano from the Windsor Express.
Yes, the assistant coach for one of the assistant coaches from the Express, longtime head coach for the Catholic Central Comets in the high school area, as the Express will wind the clock down. Meanwhile, 14 on the shot clock, less than 20 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Got to get a bucket here.
Raisin discussed the play with Jones as it's passed to Frazier. Frazier, spin move, tries to get by Almond, puts it up in the paint, draws the whistle with 1 on the clock. And he'll go to the line once again to shoot 2.
And just like I was talking about a few minutes ago, Chad Frazier goes inside for a tough take. Gets himself to the free throw line, couple of free throws.
Yeah, and Chad Frazier, somebody that's has had some times where he's had to be on the inactive list of times, back on the active list, and somebody that has been helpful for this Express squad, the 25-year-old from Charlotte, North Carolina. As he's going to miss the first of 2 free throws right there. Somebody, as you mentioned, started in 25 total games with Cape Breton. Also has experience overseas, including in Ukraine, as he's able to make the second of 2. 3 on the clock. Clayton gets the shot off, misses. And no time for a second shot, as the Windsor Express, after 1 quarter of play, trail 28-17 to the Moncton Magic here in their first game back in 2018 at the WFCU Center. Brett, real quickly here, what are your final thoughts after what we've seen in this first quarter? Starting out very defensive, and then Moncton seemed like they flicked the light switch offensively.
Yeah, they were able to knock down some shots in concession, and Windsor weren't able to respond for a long period of time. Now it's 28-17, all is not lost, of course, but the Windsor Express are going to have to start finding some open shooters and getting some shooters on the floor. Good job by Moncton to start off the game with a strong defensive presence. We mentioned earlier they're one of the best defensive teams in the league, so Windsor's going to have to move the ball around and be able to knock down some shots on one-on-one opportunities to be able to get themselves in, or else Moncton is going to have themselves a pretty nice day, because if they keep up their shooting performance like this, it should be an easy night.
I definitely agree with you with the way the shot selections have gone. A lot of contested shots, especially inside the paint as well, which has been inside with around 2 or 3 different defenders, not every time drawing the contact that they very much probably wish to do, which of course has led to a 45% shooting, just 1 of 6 from outside the perimeter, and 6 turnovers coming into tonight as one of the top turnover teams in terms of how many turnovers they give away, 13.4 on the season. So a lot to be discussing in that huddle if you're the Windsor Express. For Joe Salerno, his squad, as you mentioned, shooting 46% so far. And that attack has been led by far by Brent Jennings and Terry Thomas, 7 points apiece, as they get set to go to start off the second quarter here at the WFCU Center. On the floor for the Windsor Express, meanwhile, Brett, will be Braylon Raisin, Anthony Otley Jr., Desmond Hebert, as well as Shane Stump and Chad Frazier. On the floor for the Magic, there will be a mix of Corey Ahmed, Jason Caliste in the first time today, Marquise Clayton, as well as Brent Jennings, as well, finally, Dazelle Taylor. As we're back underway, Brent. Chad Frazier puts up the first quick shot, misses, does not even touch the rim as Caliste gets the board. Brent Jennings quickly gives it to Caliste as Caliste will get the jump shot. That's good.
Caliste doing a great job. He did a great job with the Kitchener Titans last year.
Yeah, and
fitting into this lineup seamlessly. Aaron, you got some out-of-town scores for us?
Yes, I do, Brett, and I'll go right down them very quickly. St. John's Edge getting back into the swing of things. They're beating the KW Titans 101-89 with about 6 minutes to go in the game.
As we see a nice bucket there from Anthony Otley Jr. cuts it to 31-19.
And the Hurricanes are playing the River Lions at Halifax, 53-49 in Halifax's favor in the third quarter. Highlanders are up 8 against the Island Storm in the third quarter. And here we are again, 31-19 as we send it back to you guys.
And meanwhile, as you see a lot of good games going on, 8 total teams playing out of the 10 tonight in the NBLC. Turnover, meanwhile, as that's going to bring in Demontre Harris. Also coming back in, Anthony Cox, Brett.
Yeah, Demontre had a couple of buckets early. Desmond Hubert getting a well-deserved break at the center position. This is a nice matchup here between Anthony Cox and Demontre Harris, as we see almost a turnover there for Moncton.
And Allman almost lost the handle as he's trying to size up Frazier. Cuts to the right side, drives inside. He's going to get him to go off the glass.
Corey Allman does a great job of readjusting his body after taking the contact. Scores off glass for 2. Beauty.
And meanwhile, Raisin will get the pass. Meanwhile, passes across. Stump. He'll cut back inside. Double team. 4 different players. 3 inside for the Magic, as that one's going to miss. Rebounded by Almond. That's his first rebound. Already 6 points on the night. Trying to add on to that, but this shot misses. Rebounded by Stump. And Raisin will lead the charge. 3-on-3, driving right at Jason Callist and gets him to go.
And that's where a lot of Brentland Raisin's points have been coming from lately, is off the bounce, beating people on the bounce with his speed as opposed to shooting the three-point shot. Of course, he is a fantastic three-point shooter, but a lot of his shots, unfortunately, from three-point range have not been falling at a great clip. He's been able to go off the bounce, go off the glass, and get himself to the free throw line during that road trip in the East Coast. And because of all that effort he's had coming off the bench, he's been named player coming off the bench for the Windsor Express a number of times this year.
Yes, definitely a great accomplishment for the former CMU Central Michigan University alum. As the Magic have the possession, quick shot from Allman. He's continuing to be red hot. 9 points with that triple.
And that makes it 36-21, Justin, here with just 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely heating up. Whistle, meanwhile, as the Express will inbound it on the side. Foul on the Magic.
Yeah, that one's going to go against Corey Allman for reaching in or at the perimeter.
Yep, reach in foul. His second foul, just the team's first foul in the first 9, with about 9 minutes 30 seconds to go in this second quarter, as Otley Jr. gets it to Raisin. Raisin will just pull it up. Contested over Clayton to the right side as Brent Jennings gets the rebound. Jennings stops, wide open. Allman could not get the shot to go off the front rim, as Windsor will slow it back down once again. Harris trying to help set a pick. In the game, by the way, with the Express, one of the newcomers we'll get to in a second, as Chad Frazier goes blind as he draws the whistle on the layup. Clay Krellin is making his NBLC debut. Number 14 down low as he's going to set up in the post. 6'4" from Canada. Red Deer, played for Red Deer with the same school as Shane Stump, and has experience in the ABA and in the Philippines, as that move was officially activated as of today, Brett.
Yeah, we always welcome him to the Windsor Express. Always like seeing those Canadian players getting the chance to play in our home country. But I wanted to talk about that take from Chad Frazier. Once again, you see when the Windsor Express need a bucket, they're putting the ball in Chad's hands, and he's been able to either get to the rack or get himself to the free throw line. And that might be the key to them getting back into this contest.
And now it's still a 14-point game. Brent Jennings, he gets rejected by Harris. And now it'll be Express ball as that's tapped out of bounds off Cox.
And you see Anthony Cox and Brent Jennings having a conversation there about maybe an alley-oop play coming off of that.
Yeah, that looked exactly what the ideal play was there, but Harris was right there prepared for that situation.
Yep.
As Raisin gets the pick from Harris. Possible pick and roll as Harris in the high post. Passes back out. 10 on the shot clock. Raisin pulls up, misses. And this is going to be a fast break for the Magic. Quick pass. Ahmed for 3 in the corner. He's got it. Absolutely unconscious. 12 points just like that. His third triple.
And a quick release too. Corey Ullman did not need any time to get that shot off in the baseline corner. One of the harder shots to make in basketball, and he made it look easy there, as we see Chad Frazier draws another foul. But the Express are down 39-22, Justin, with 8:07 to go here in the second Q. Maybe the couple of subs here coming in for Windsor will help them.
Yeah, and then those substitutions, very helpful players. Maurice Jones and Logan Stutz, as they are back in the game. Coming out of the game, Braylon Rayson and Anthony Otley Jr. as they'll get their handshakes down low. Clay Crellin will have the inbound 6'4" as he's getting all set to go. As you mentioned, good to have Canadians playing in Canada. He did play in the ABA, like I mentioned, but for the Vancouver Ballaholics. So he did have some time in BC playing basketball. That one's tipped on his inbound, though, as Logan Stutz gets it, gets the hook shot to go in the post.
And that's great presence of mind to just have that reaction time, grab that ball, shoulder off the defender, and rise and knock it down.
Good awareness to see that deflection coming around as Calist stops. Guarded hard pick as Calist able to get the shot, misses the three-pointer, and goes off of Stutz. Potentially here, and it's going to be express ball.
And Calist is one of those guys, Justin, that could go up for a quick 20 just by, if you leave him too open on the perimeter. Calist can knock down shots at a very high clip, as we've seen in last year's playoff series with the Windsor Express. Very competitive ball player and a very good shooter.
And meanwhile, quick shots for the quick shot, missed by the Express. Harris getting the rebound, drawing the whistle. Is that going to count as a shot or trying to pass out? I think they are going to count as 2 free throws.
Yep, DeMontre Harris did a great job there, fighting through all that contact down low. Anthony Cox, I believe, is going to be called for the foul.
And to get that...
Pardon me, they were just adding that was Anthony Cox's third, so that could be a big factor coming in later into this game as we see the dynamic duo, Terry Thomas and Anthony Anderson, checking in now.
2 of the veterans checking back in, as you mentioned, but that is something to watch for foul trouble potential already here in the second quarter as Harris makes the first of 2.
Kevin Farrell Thomas will take over for Anthony Anderson. We see Corey Ullman taking a break there after a hot shooting display.
Yeah, Corey Ullman already leading the way for his team in points. Both free throws made there from Harris, but already the Magic pushing the tempo. Pass it around, Anderson, guarded by Frazier. Here comes the pick. Pick and roll setting up, pass back out. Stewart misses, just rimmed out as Harris gets another rebound. And here come the Express, quick play, but off the foot of somebody, as that's going to be Magic ball. They're going to lead the push once again. Straight coast to coast, able to get it, Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson takes advantage of the ball off the foot and puts it in the cup for 2. That leads back up to 15 points, Justin, 41-26, just over 6 minutes to go here in the second.
And the clock continues to wind down. Stutz, meanwhile, trying to pass it again, almost deflected. This one driving inside, Stutz gets it to go this time.
Beautiful give and go between Chad Frazier and Logan Stutz there, as Frazier found Logan cutting to the basket. Nice finger roll layup, gets them within 13.
And Stutz now with 6 points on the night, 3-7 shooting. Meanwhile, Terry Thomas, he gets the turnover situation as Jones picks it up. He's pushing it forward in contested traffic, just rims out on the layup, trying to get the tap out, unable to get the tap out was the newcomer. And that is going to be a hard reach in and foul. And that's going to be on DeMontre Harris.
Yeah, that's just a situation where Moncton had numbers, so DeMontre Harris decided to commit the foul, not to give up an easy bucket. Live to play another play, essentially as it was, I would call it. And Terry Thomas is going to inbound for Moncton. Aaron?
Yeah, Terry Thomas is those guys that will beat you off on the fast break, so it's a good idea to foul him, especially if he's one of the leading scorers for the Moncton Magic. That's one way to stop him.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Aaron. Meanwhile, that was blocked by Harris.
Beautiful block by Harris coming over quickly
and
closing the gap.
And they're going to have the inbound on the side, reset the play, I think.
And we're going to step aside for a timeout, I believe. Here we got 5:58 left here in the second quarter.
We do, in fact. It has been an absolutely dominant game from the Moncton Magic so far. 41-28 over the Express. Halfway through the second quarter. We're going to take a quick media timeout. You're watching Knoxstrom TV, here from the WFCU Center in Windsor, Ontario. Welcome back, everyone, to the WFCU Center here in Windsor, Ontario, as the Express have a big deficit to come back from, down 41-28 to the visiting Moncton Magic here on NBLC action on this beautiful Friday night. Justin Prince alongside me is Brett Hedges as we're about to get back underway. Brett, what do you think is the main issue with how the deficit has been going with the Express?
Well, the Moncton Magic, it just seems like they're playing a lot faster than Windsor is right now. And Coach Joe Salerno's teams have always played an up-tempo kind of game, beating teams up the floor, getting some easy buckets, as we see Anthony Anderson with a shot there out of the timeout. Yeah. But like I said, it's just more of the characteristics of the head coach coming out in the first half with his team. Coming out and playing with a lot of energy and being able to stop the rock as well as scoring it. So, as we see poked away there.
Yeah, and that's going to reset the play with 12 seconds on the shot clock with the Express right now. They're down to 37% shooting right now. Starting to come back in terms of that, but it doesn't help when the Magic are out-rebounding you and getting more shots time and time again. This one poked out of bounds, meanwhile, as this is going to be another reset with 11 on the shot clock. On the floor to give you the reset, Clay Crellin getting set for the inbound. Demontre Harris, Maurice Jones, Chad Frazier, Logan Stutz for the Windsor Express. Give and go, Crellin for the jump shot, misses. Rebounded as this is going to be brought down by the Moncton Magic. Beryl Thomas able to get the board as this is going to be Al Stewart cutting for the pass, getting it back outside. Terry Thomas for the three, yes sir!
Terry Thomas knocks down the triple, 44-28.
A very quick pass and good around 9 assists compared to the Express's just 3 on the night. Reach and drawn by Chad Frazier as Braylon Raisin will come back into the game now for the Express.
Maybe the three-point shooting is something Windsor's looking for to get back into this contest. Haven't been able to knock down many threes early on. Maybe the addition of Raisin will give them a little bit of life from the three-point line.
And Chad Frazier will set up for the inbound here. As you mentioned, the free throw line, of course, the Express, one of the top teams in terms of shooting at the line, 7 of 10 for the night. As Maurice Jones will set up the play. Isolation play, everyone getting out of the paint. Maurice Jones gets up to the shot with 3 on the shot clock, misses. Tapped out by Harris, unable to get the board to the Express. Anthony Anderson got the board, sets up the quick play as Al Stewart backs up, gets it to Anderson. Pick set by Williams. Passing around to Thomas. Earl Thomas helping set the pick, and that's going to be Terry Thomas getting the jump shot.
Beautiful shot from Thomas once again. You got to put a man in his face. But even then they do have a man in his face, he's knocking it down with ease. Terry Thomas for 3.
And Terry Thomas continuing up his production on the night, that's for sure. As Chad Frazier, he draws another whistle. He's going to go to the line once again to shoot 2.
Chad Frazier, it seems like he's been the only one that's been able to penetrate the Moncton defense and being able to grab some calls. Desmond Hubert will come into the contest now for Demontre Harris as Frazier gets ready. Has a word with Al Stewart at the free throw line, maybe a laugh.
Yeah, of course, Chad Frazier playing last season in the Atlantic Division. For Frazier, though, he's now 5 for 7 from the free throw line. By far the best on the team in terms of drawing the fouls tonight. And he's keeping that up tonight.
That's just that veteran guard presence that he brings to any team that he would come to, not just Windsor or maybe Cape Breton. He's very confident in his ability to get to the rack and be able to contribute offensively for his team. And he's got a tough defensive assignment too as he's chasing Terry Thomas around.
And look at this pass from Terry Thomas, but Hubert able to get the block. That was almost an open lane for Farrell Thomas for the layup, poked away from Frazier. Express keep the possession.
Nice job by Terry Thomas to poke that ball away. It's going to be Express ball down low, down 17, 4:09 left in the first half. Lots to talk about with you and Aaron during the the halftime show.
Yes, there definitely will be, that's for sure, as Hubert quickly gets a shot, trying to draw the whistle, does not get the foul as that is a missed layup.
That's another good defensive play by Jeremy Williams.
And Anthony Anderson going coast to coast, able to make it with the contact.
Mr. MBLC himself, Anthony Anderson, knows how to score buckets.
One of the top scorers in the history of this league. As Stutz, meanwhile, guarded by Williams, able to draw the whistle and the foul.
It's the first time we've been able to see Logan Stutz penetrate the defense and draw a call. 3:42 left in the first half. Windsor down 19 points. I know not the most exciting way to score points, but free throws are definitely a way for the Windsor Express to get back into this contest.
And that time they missed that as Stutz is to the line for the first time tonight. But right now, this is becoming an absolutely big hole to overcome with 3:42. Stutz making the second.
Splitting there, Logan Stutz, averaging 20 points a game. He's been a big addition to this squad, coming in at the end of last year, playing 13 games. Now he's going to look at his first full stint in Windsor, and he's been heavily relied upon. And you see him rotate there on defense.
And help set up Hubert for the block as that is swatted out of bounds. Stutz, of course, a former league MVP with the Niagara River Lions a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, so this game we're kind of spoiled. We've got Anthony Anderson, we've got Logan Stutz, we've got Terry Thomas, great players, and we've got a great game on the floor here as we get to a timeout.
And with this timeout, the Moncton Magic lead big time, 49-31 over the Windsor Express with 3:27 to go. With that, we'll be back on Axstrom TV in just a few moments from the WFU Center.
When do you want to go down?
I don't.
Whenever you're comfortable to go down, you can go down for halftime.
I don't even know.
Oh, are you guys going down?
No, like, I guess the idea is to go down and do the audio or something like that.
That's fine. Yeah, whatever you guys want to do. Just let me know when you're ready.
Up to you. Regardless,
Have some confidence, yeah. So whenever the next timeout is, you guys go down and we'll up to us. Okay? Yep. That's how
And welcome back, everyone, to the WFU Center as the Windsor Express trail 49-31 to the Moncton Magic. And what has been an absolutely dominant scoring performance so far in terms of Moncton. 45% from the field, plus 12 in terms of shots. Able to keep up second chances, able to get points off turnovers, 11-0 advantage, mind you, over the Express. Taking advantage of every chance they have as Al Stewart quickly trying to set up a quick play with 5 on the shot clock. Anthony Anderson gets it. Pick set by Desnell Taylor as that's going to set up another triple.
Don't need to draw up X's and O's when you can knock down shots like that. Anthony Anderson shows us how to get it done at the three-point line with the time winding down on the shot clock.
And Anthony Anderson, great shot. It helps increase this lead to 21. Stutz able to break the mismatch from Anderson. As this is going to be out of bounds, they're going to say it's off of Stutz as this is going to be inbounded now from the Magic.
Yeah, that was a nice defensive play there by Taylor. Denzel Taylor blocked the shot. It looked like it went off the hand of Logan Stutz last before it hit out of bounds. So it is Moncton ball with under 3 minutes to go here, and they are up 21 points.
And a big-time league looking to keep on separated, get themselves some cushion. As Thomas directly for the interception to Maurice Jones. As Jones leading the way, cuts through defenders, cuts inside, gets the contact, gets the ball to go in for the layup.
Was looking for a call, not going to get it. It's down to 19 now. The Windsor Express maybe looking to make a little push.
And Williams, meanwhile, able to respond with a huge triple.
Hard to make a comeback when teams can knock down shots like that. That's their 9th triple of the first half as compared to 1 for the Windsor Express. No call.
And Windsor struggling big time from deep. Hubert is down on the floor as Thomas goes in, gets the layup as the officials call the timeout. Hubert getting up off the floor.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened down low there. I didn't quite see, but what I do see is Aaron Boos going out to check on Desmond Hubert, the young man.
And this is the proper precaution, of course. Make sure the health and safety is, of course, at the best for all players. As Hubert going to go to the sideline, that's going to bring back in Anthony Otley Jr. As we're going to keep the possessions going here. 2:10 to go here in the first half. 57-33 for the Magic. As Raisin passes now for Frazier. Frazier on the right side, getting a pick from Otley Jr. They're going to say it's an elbow reach in from Anderson as Frazier just chucks it up for fun.
Unfortunately, it does not count, but one thing that does count is the fact that Chad Frazier has gotten himself to the line this many times in the first half with his team down. It's hard to draw fouls when your team's trailing, because sometimes you get forced into tough shots. You try and rush shots early in the shot clock to be composed and be able to penetrate the defense, draw the contact, and get to the free throw line and try and help your team get back into it. Says something about a guy. 57-35, minutes to go here in the second quarter.
And again, helping out, trying to reduce that lead down from the Magic. 9 of 11 from the free throw line is Chad Frazier now as Thomas cutting through, double teamed, wide open, triple. Williams can't get it. Rebounded by Raisin. And Raisin will bring it down. Jones with him in the backcourt. That's Stutz. Guarded by Williams. Quick pass to Frazier, trying to spin around, find an opening. Stutz passes cross court to an open Jones. Now Stort is there for the wake-up defense. Jones spins through 4 defenders, finds Chad Frazier. Can that go? No. Tap down. Otley Jr. can't get it to his own player. Anderson goes down the floor. He's got it.
Within 2 passes, the Moncton Miracles, or Moncton Magic, pardon me, were down the floor and at the cup. That's tough to defend for the Express.
And Maurice Jones now drawing the contact now on the reach in on the layup. He's going to go to the line to shoot 2. With 1:06 to go here in the second quarter, let's get you some out-of-town scores, shall we? As the St. John's Edge, they're taking on the KW Titans for their back-to-back. 114-105 for the St. John's Edge. Halifax Hurricanes up 68-58 over the visiting Niagara River Lions. The Island Storm trailed to the Cape Breton Highlanders in the third quarter, 69-64. And of course, we are the 4th game in town here in the Eastern time slot. Meanwhile, the Magic, they've been keeping the battle going with a minute to go as Al Stort quickly gets it to Terry Thomas. Less than 1 minute to go with 16 on the shot clock. Anderson sizing up Raisin, drives inside, loses the handle, reach in called, and that's going to be a foul on Braylon Raisin.
Well, fouls and shooting percentages are 2 things I'm sure you and Aaron are going to talk about at our halftime show in just a few minutes.
And we are going to, in fact, do that. Brett will have the remaining 52 seconds for the second quarter call. We'll see you in just a few moments, shall we?
Yeah, I think I can handle it. We'll be all right. I don't think anything crazy is about to happen. Anthony Anderson lines up the second free throw. No, and it just pops out. Splits the trip, so it's 60-37 for the Magic. Racing in the middle of the key. Can't get the floater to go. Terry Thomas up the floor, 40 seconds to go. Lots of time for the Magic to work, and there's a big dunk. Oh, no dunk, but it is a 2-point basket from Williams. Just beating the Windsor Express up and down the floor, the Moncton Magic in the first half, 62-37. 20 seconds to play in the half. Coach Jones pointing to Maurice Jones. Maurice over to Chad, who's had a strong first half. Off the bounce, draws another foul. And Williams will be called for the foul. It'll be 7.9 seconds to go here in the first half.
Williams is second.
We appreciate you working through some technical difficulties with us tonight, folks. As we broadcast from you live from the WFCU Center. Chad Frazier to the free throw line. This will be his, I believe, his 13th or 14th trip shots from the free throw line in this half. This will be number 12. Chad Frazier misses the second, but Anthony Otley Jr. with a good offensive rebound. The putback, no good. Last second shot, tipped in, and it's finally going to go in by who else? Chad Frazier. Seems like the only man been able to put the ball in the bucket. Had a big clip in the first half, but Chad Frazier with 13, Logan Stutz with 7, Jones with 7, DeMontre Harris with 7. Some balanced scoring, but it is just not enough for the Windsor Express to get within 20 before halftime. 22 points the difference, 62-40. We're going to send it down to Justin Prince and Aaron Sanders for their analysis of the first half. Boys, take it away.
All right, Brett, thank you so much. At the half, 62-40. That was a really rough last 10 seconds right there, JP. So many rebounds made, but the Windsor Express were able to capitalize on not second chance points, not third chance points, but fourth chance points. But on the other end, it's been the Terry Thomas show as expected for the Moncton Magic.
Yeah, I think the Moncton Magic social media put it in the best way when they said, it's tea time, Terry Thomas time. Because he's been making shot after shot, being helpful on the offensive side, trying to help up some of his teammates, and has been a strong player on the defensive side as well, forcing a few different turnovers for the Express tonight. So he's been somebody that's been an absolute standout guy for this Magic squad so far, and one of the main reasons they're up so big.
And, you know, it was very close the first few minutes, but now you see the lead was ballooned by so many. But, you know, what are some of the positives you got to take in if you're the Windsor Express?
Some of the positives, able to draw contact down low, specifically with Chad Frazier, because Chad Frazier already up to 11 free throw attempts on the night, everybody. Just able to drive inside, trying to put as much effort as he can. You've seen him on the offensive end, go for spin moves, trying to get any kind of opening. He's been one of those main positives for the Express. The other one really has been basically not having that many whistles, because that's something they put their hat on coming in tonight, just drawing 20 fouls a game coming into tonight. And in both of these quarters, really not in the foul trouble whatsoever, Aaron. So the Express keeping themselves out of foul trouble compared to the Magic, Anthony Cox, already up to 3 fouls. How's that comparison?
Well, you know, it sounds good to me, but, you know, I've been impressed with Logan Stutz and how he's been able to draw contact inside the post. But once again, this is one of those situations where we shouldn't be surprised, because once again, he is basically the glue that's keeping the Windsor Express post game up to par.
Yeah, Logan Stutz has been able to get a lot of shots in the post, especially in the low post, helping us out those up plays, and getting a few whistles. Not that many times going to the line there so far. Yes, but able to take advantage of the mismatches and make these shots even with more contact in some of these situations. So Logan Stutz, of course, as you mentioned, getting some performance, but of course, they're going to have to depend on a lot more in the second half.
And we'll see how that unfolds. Quick game updates from around the league. The Edge pulled through against the Titans by 7 points. So once again, the Titans, they're in for a big challenge because they got to go back-to-back against St. John's again tomorrow. But you know what? The Edge, like I said earlier, they're beginning the gel within the new year, and why not? Because they took more than 30 days off.
Yeah, that kind of helps to have some energy for sure for this kind of a situation. But in all seriousness, there's a reason, Aaron, that St. John's Edge was at the top of the Central Division standings before this halfway mark, just about in the league. The ability for them to perform well and having those star power, guys like Carl English, having some veteran presence, having a good head coach in Coach Dunlap. So a lot of different things helping out with that St. John's Edge squad, especially on the offensive side. And it seems they're in a good position, at least for the long run at this point. They'll win down low. We've seen that with the Veterans, and we're going to see that again with Kitchener Waterloo and St. John's.
And we'll see how that unfolds for St. John's, because once again, probably at the end of the season, you'll see them at the top of the Central Division. But once again, there's so much more game of basketball that you got to play here. Over at Halifax, it's a close game between the Hurricanes and the River Lions. The River Lions making a big battle in their Eastern road trip. How do you like their chances so far?
The River Lions' chances? I like their chances because, as we mentioned a few minutes ago here in the second, they score. It has been pretty close, that matchup so far. The River Lions have been able to keep it and have a lot of good players, as mentioned, in the London walking specifically between us two, with a lot of the players they have. They are just able to battle away, overcome the shots, able to draw, able to get shots, I should say, and especially having game busters on the perimeter. 3 points on the defensive side of the perimeter at times in some of these games. We've seen them really going. So the River Lions, really somebody really impressive. But again, still a few minutes to go in that game.
And every year we see the River Lions, they either come up with a revitalized squad and whatnot, but once again, new coach, new squad basically, and all that all together, you'd think it would go the other way, but it hasn't. The River Lions have been gelling immediately since the start of the season, so hats off to them. And then as for the Hurricanes, it's been business as usual for them.
Now with the Hurricanes, of course, as you mentioned, business as usual. They've been really good on the season so far, the high parts of the division standings as mentioned. So they've just been able once again to get some of our veteran players getting going and bring in a few newcomers as well. That really helped on the offensive side again. It's just the way we've seen in the past couple years, the way the brand of basketball has been. Very tough team to face, very close games, and back to that defense point. One of those few teams still, in fact, one of the top teams on the defensive side in terms of points per game allowed. Because before this upcoming game, when I was doing research for this game, there were 2 teams under 100 points for defense allowed points per game. Moncton, which is now at about 100 points a game mark, and Halifax. Just shows the kind of standard the defense is for the Halifax Hurricanes.
Well, there you go. Yeah, there's one thing the Atlantic Division knows, it's defense, and they're displaying that perfectly. Final game going on, the Island Storm and the Cape Breton Highlanders. Last time I checked, the Highlanders were in the lead. Of course, for every game now, the Highlanders need to win a lot, especially if they have a team filled with presence. You got Kevin Boisel as a veteran, and then you got guys like Shane Osayandi and Duke Mondi coming up. But once again, it's been the ability to finish off strong. But between you and me, in about a few weeks, they might be on a winning streak.
Yeah, exactly, because we've discussed this a couple times about how these games have been very close with Cape Breton involved and coming down to the wire. Again, it's about closing. Right now, they still have that advantage right now, so we're going to have to see if they can get some offense together, really. Especially bringing guys like Rick Bottomford recently through training. They're going to be in a good spot. Again, just a matter of closing out, and again, they got to close out starting in the next couple of minutes.
And we'll check up on the rest of the scores when we go back to the second half. But now we come back to this game. What are going to be the tips for the Moncton Magic? If they want to win 3 in a row, what do they have to do?
For the Moncton Magic, right now, they got this big lead. But one of the main things we're discussing a lot of different times is the ability for the Express to claw their way back. Chip away, chip away. They got to make sure if you're Moncton, to not let them chip away, chip away. Basically, keep on playing some hard defense. Force one Windsor to try and get the points at the free throw line, regardless of the free throw percentage, because they have not been as successful tonight compared to other nights. So they got to make sure they box that out. To have them struggle in the perimeter and force the turnovers, because that has been the exact case when it comes to Moncton's brand of defense tonight, forcing tons of steals. There's a reason they are second in the league in steals per game. We're seeing that tonight.
Well, the Windsor Express, how do they limit Terry Thomas? Because every time the Moncton Magic give them the ball, it's that 1-2 punch that keeps on killing them. How can they finish off?
One of the main things I noticed is when there's that pressure where he has to pass outside, a couple times he's had those turnovers, about 2 or 3 times, where a defender is ready and waiting and he throws the ball just off the mark and it goes right in the hands of instead of his own winner where he shows. So, I think you put the pressure on him, trying to make sure that if he drives inside, you have 2 or 3 players ready in that zone defense to be ready to go in for the contact here. Force them to draw the contact and try and force a whistle, or force an errant turnover or errant pass. So that's going to be, I think, the strategy I think Windsor's going to have when it comes to Terry Thomas. And they got to make sure they can get this lead closed up. And I think that's one of the main things too. Force turnovers, start pushing the tempo a bit, close this gap.
And it all begins in a matter of moments. Once again at the half, it's the Magic 62 and the
yeah, take a break, whatever you guys need to do, get a drink, whatever. We'll just come back right before the second half is ready to go.
Music's a bit loud. So we'll come back and do the out of we'll come back and we'll do the out of town scores.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you guys will be on.
The fans are rocking here at the WSU Center as we're still a few moments away from the start of the third quarter here of NBL action here between the Express and the visiting Moncton Magic. It's 62-40 as we have your out-of-scoring town scores, I should say, before we get back going. Let's take a look at those scores, shall we? Because right now, some of those scores have changed very dramatically in the past few minutes. Along with me to go through those scores, Aaron Sanders.
All right, thank you, JP. And the St. John's Edge, once again, like we said a few minutes ago, they pull off a 7-point victory over the KW Titans, 120-113. Once again, this was a game that was basically a mission statement for the St. John's Edge. Leading the fold is Desmond Lee. He had 22 points, one rebound away from a double-double. He ended up with 9 assists and a steal to that. As for the Hurricanes and the River Lions, the Hurricanes are up 97-81. Things are about to wrap up over there. And the Cape Breton Highlanders trying to stave off the Island Storm as they lead 95-92 with about 7 minutes to go in this game. And here we are here once again. We'll quickly go through the stats before I send it back up to Brett Hedges. The Windsor Express, the only man that's in double digits is Chad Frazier with 15 points. But as for the Moncton Magic, 3 players are in double-digit figures, and it's all led by Terry Thomas with 15 points and 12 points apiece for Corey Joy Allman and Mr. A.A. Anthony Anderson. So hats off to them. We're going to see how the next 24 minutes play out. But JP, go back to you.
Yes, thank you very much. As Brett Hedges gets all set to go alongside me, we're going to get all set to go for the start of the third quarter. And why don't we go through the lineup, shall we? Starting off for this third quarter for the Windsor Express with the first possession. Logan Stutz, Maurice Jones, Anthony Otley Jr., Demontre Harris, and Chad Frazier. Frazier quickly getting the first possession ball. Reached through 2 defenders, finding Harris in traffic. Tapped out of bounds. With 15 on the shot clock, Express keep the possession, I should say. Now Brett, What are your quick thoughts, really, on what we've seen in this first half with Stutz getting the ball?
Well, obviously we saw a lot of Terry Thomas and a lot of Anthony Anderson being able to, as you see, Maurice Jones with a big bucket here. Anthony Otley Jr. with the offensive rebound. Moncton just played a better first half of basketball. Sometimes we try and overcomplicate things and say, oh, this happened and this happened. No, they played better. They were ripping down rebounds. They were passing the ball well. They're playing with energy, getting up and down the floor, knocking down shots that were with hands in their face, and that's why they're up 22 points. If Windsor is going to get into this contest, in my opinion, they're going to have to slow the game down, got to go inside out and bruise Moncton a little bit, and knock down the three-point shot when it's available. They only knocked down 1-3 in the first half, and that is not very like the Windsor Express. So if they're able to balance it out a little bit, knock down some shots from distance and bruise it up and maybe muck it up a little bit, we'll maybe have a better game.
Meanwhile, as you mentioned the word triple, Williams might have heard you say that and decides to add one himself for the Moncton Magic, up 65-42. Windsor trying to get things together on offense. Chad Frazier down low to Harris. Harris gets it once again with the contact and the foul.
And what better way to establish a down low presence than having a smart guard like Chad Frazier feed your big man DeMontre Harris on 2 consecutive offensive possessions. He gets a good look the first time, gets poked away from him. The second time, he gets an and one. You got to go inside. You know you've got the size advantage with Trey in the lineup.
And DeMontre Harris gets the ball to bounce in, up to 12 points tonight. And 4 of those points have come from the free throw line. One of those main emphases you mentioned as Terry Thomas passes to Al Stewart. Al Stewart backing up, gets it to Anthony Anderson. Quick bullet pass around the defense to Jeremy Williams, unable to get it to go as Chad Frazier quickly brings it down, pushing the tempo. Stutz, spin move, gets it over Al Stewart, gets it to go, takes advantage of the mismatch.
Highlight reel stuff there from Logan Stutz. What would you like to add, Aaron?
And from one end to another, it was all started because of Trey Anderson. He worked on the offensive end and the defensive end. It worked out wonders for him, and he was a key leader to that little fast break there.
Couldn't agree more.
And now Anderson quickly getting the pass, meanwhile missing the jump shot outside as Maurice Jones will bring it back down the floor. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Maurice Jones working through the defense, unable to get the layup to go, just too short.
Unfortunately, Harris was open on the roll there too after he screened for Jones.
And meanwhile, Terry Thomas goes down the floor, gets the N1.
As I was going to finish, and Maurice Jones doesn't miss too many shots from the middle of the key. But you're seeing this kind of Joe Salerno offense where you're making a miss and one pass up the floor and we're attacking the basket. And it's a lot of fun. It reminds us of those back-to-back years where the Island Storm were in the finals, led by Coach Joe Salerno. And now that he's in Moncton, this black and silver team almost resembling the Oakland Raiders, looking great, playing great basketball. Playing fast, playing tough, a lot of fun to watch.
Interesting comparison, Logan Stutz. He says, hello, I'm going to add a three-pointer while you make that set comparison. Able to get his first triple on the night.
And that's a huge shot for the Express. Keep it under 20.
And missed shot, meanwhile, rebounded. Harris able to get the board. As Jones will bring it down, already Logan Stutz trying to help call the play. Picks out by Harris, bullet pass. Stutz for 3 again, yes, he's got it. 6 straight points for Logan Stutz.
Big shot for the Windsor Express, 6 straight points off of threes. 8 points in a little burst here, and like that, it's a 15-point game, and the Windsor Express are playing with some energy and playing with a little bit of tempo here.
A very strong run, picking up the tempo and the pace. Missed shot from Anthony Cox. Chad Frazier gets the board. They'll take a quick breath here. Stutz and Harris setting up picks. Stutz gets it, cuts around, and they'll get it right on back. Stutz coming back to the perimeter. Frazier drives inside, but is rejected by Williams. Tapped around back into the rim, back outside, gets the board. First 24. Anthony Otley Jr., he's just going to take it himself and get the N1, my goodness!
And that was just great heart and hustle right there from Anthony Otley Jr. He thought he might dish it over to Logan Stutz for the open 3. He pauses for a moment, collects himself, drives baseline, hits the reverse and the foul. great timing there. We talk about big plays at big times. That's a big play.
And you know what? This is one of the reasons why the Windsor Express accelerate game after game. It's those second chance opportunities right there. You don't give up on those plays, especially when it comes to those broken plays. They capitalize on that as well, and that is a pure testament of what they have in their arsenal tonight.
While the Windsor Express have trimmed the deficit down to 12, it was 22 at halftime, Justin. A lot better effort we've seen in the last 3 minutes from the Windsor Express. Yeah. And it started with some inside presence, correct?
Exactly. Right now, especially now with the 15-6 run, with the way the points have been going, they've been able to do exactly what you really said. Drive inside, get baskets inside, able to get 2 and 1s already in the first few minutes of this quarter, and starting to get their triples back together with Logan Stutz with 2 straight triples. So, again, chipping away. There's, again, the phrase of chip away, and then there's get it all in one spurt. Right now, they still got some time. They still have to chip away a bit, down by 12, but lots of things really to watch for here. Magic still with the lead, but are the ones calling this time out here.
Yep. You talk about taking chunks away from a lead. You look at 22 points and you think, you know what, that's pretty insurmountable to come back. But when you're a pro or you're in a basketball where you're in a really good environment, a really smart head coach will say, hey, in this 3-minute span, we want to win this 3-minute span by +8 to give us a chance to get in that area. And in the last 3 minutes, it has been a 15-6 run to start this, 15-6 run to start, or 16-6 run to start the quarter. So the Windsor Express are +10 now. They got to close it out by playing some good defenses, defensive stretches to maybe trim it further. I'm assuming that the Moncton Magic have drawn up some plays that will be able to get themselves some buckets later on. But the Windsor Express, with that 3-minute spurt at the beginning of the third, have put themselves in a lot better position. Now they need to defend.
And this is going to start off with trying on Terry Thomas. That one no good on the jump shot on the three-pointer. Terrell Baines now on the floor, meanwhile, from the Magic, possibly trying to add some size for inside for the way the attack has been going inside. Chad Frazier misses the fall-away jump shot, bounced around, and this is going to be picked up by the Magic. Anderson quickly gets it to Thomas. Bullet pass across to Anderson, right to Al Stewart. Now Stewart, look at the mismatch. He's going to go inside, gets it stripped away. This is going to be a turnover. 4-on-3 attack as the Express drawing the whistle. Maurice Jones on the reach-in.
Great patience down low by Trey Harris defending Anthony Anderson. Anthony Anderson's the best offensive player that we've probably ever seen in this league. Over the course of 7 years, obviously. We've had some really strong players come in. But to not be intimidated by a one-on-one matchup with a guy like that speaks a lot.
And meanwhile, we're back under play once again. Still the Express trail. 4 minutes into the third quarter. Maurice Jones could not add to that. As missing the jump shot, trying to make it a 9-point game on that one. Terry Thomas giving it to Brent Jennings. Jennings going spin move. Unable to get it off the glass. As here come the Express once again. Logan Stutz wanting the ball down low. Guarded by Thomas. Heads it back outside as Chad Frazier quickly gets it to Harris. Can't get the shot to go inside.
Not sure who came over and disrupted that shot, but they did a great job.
And meanwhile, this is going to go awry on that pass. Possible alley-oop attempt to Anthony Cox from Brent Jennings.
Here we go, one-on-one again. Anthony Anderson on Trey Harris. He beats him this time.
Cuts, my goodness, cuts through 3 defenders like bread and butter. Gets the layup to go and gets it back to 14.
That's a deadly crossover Anthony Anderson's got.
An absolutely deadly one from one of the most deadly scorers in the history of this league. This one missed again from Harris. This is going to be out of bounds. They're going to say it just bounced off Thomas as it bounced off the baseline.
Eric Parker's going to check into the contest now. Anthony Cox will check out for Moncton. So Kevin Farrell-Thomas checks in.
Well, Kevin Farrell-Thomas, also somebody that's had a pretty good defensive presence today. Braylon Rayson will also come in now for Maurice Jones. It's going to be Anthony Otley Jr. going to be the one inbounding as things get sorted out from the scores table.
And it's only a 14-point game, Justin. 7:07 left here in the third quarter. We want to thank all of our viewers from the Maritimes for tuning in with us, all the way from New Brunswick and the PEI and Newfoundland. If you're from the other Maritime provinces, thanks for tuning in and joining us on Knockstrom.tv, all the way from Windsor, Ontario.
And very kind words once again, taking them straight out of my mouth. Eric Parker, he's going to try and get some points. He misses that jump shot, just rims out. As Anderson brings it down slowly. Brent Jennings setting the pick, sets it up for Anderson as that's going to be too strong. Brent Jennings tries to pass it to keep the possession alive. Anderson, no one's in the paint. He's going to drive it. He gets the roll in on the layup inside. And hold on 1 second. Braylon Rayson's going to quickly push the tempo. Logan Stutz calling for the trail. Going around, getting it to Chad Frazier. Drives inside through 3 defenders. Misses. Anthony Utley Jr. gets it. He's going to get the end one once again.
Anthony Utley Jr., how many times have we called his name in big situations this year where he just comes up with the ball and is able to knock it down and take the contact? That's twice in this third quarter he's been able to extend plays, and this second time might be the one that kind of makes Moncton readjust a few things because they're getting within striking distance here. As you see Terry Thomas come into the lineup now. Terry Thomas, Anthony Anderson, of course, Corey Allman, who had a fantastic first half. He's into the contest as well.
Yeah, Corey Allman was the one who came in there. Terry Thomas was the one who was called for the foul. As the Magic trying to keep that magic alive, get some wands together as Brent Jennings, he's going to draw the whistle. Possibly going to go to the line. In fact, will shoot 2 for Brent Jennings.
And Brent Jennings is a guy that we've seen in this league for a couple of years now, and pardon me if I'm wrong, but it seems like he's added some size to his frame there, and maybe that's helping him get a little more powerful on the interior. We know he was great off the bounce, has some great leaping ability. We've seen him make some highly athletic plays. Maybe adding a couple pounds of size will help him with the bump and run coverage kind of thing. Maurice Jones going to come back in for Windsor soon.
Yes, trying to make a ton of adjustments like a chess match. Of course, somebody that has played for the Orangeville A's, the London Lightning, the Island Storm, and of course this season the Moncton Magic.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Windsor Express number 11.
As Maurice Jones is back into the game, Chad Frazier will come back out as we're approaching halfway through this third quarter. Grayson will help set it up. Parker trying to set the pick. Down low, nice pick and roll, nice slam dunk from Eric Parker.
Nice job from Eric Parker, the longtime veteran, the only person that was on the Express roster in Season 1 as we look going towards Season 6 with Anthony Anderson with a nice drive there.
And that's going to be off of the Magic. Turnover there on that possession. Express getting the ball back, still down by 13.
5:50 to go here in the third quarter, lots of time.
Lots of time indeed, but that means lots of time for, well, just about anything at this point. For Maurice Jones, he's going to bring this ball back down. Braylon Rayson cuts around the corner. Passes out. Stutz. Can he add a third 3 on the night? That almost bounced in. Tapped out. As it's rebounded by the Magic. They're going to push the tempo. Jennings passing to Thomas. Look at that nice little pivot move. Draws the contact. Is that going to be a foul to shoot 2, or is that going to be a charge? It's going to be for 2.
Yeah, and Terry Thomas, what a smooth move coming off the wing. It was almost a seamless adjustment once he jab stepped and got around the defender. Just showing some of those skills as to why he's last year's Canadian of the Year in the NBL Canada. Was an MVP candidate.
And Terry Thomas going to make the first of the 2 free throws right there. Once again, Terry Thomas on the season, as we discussed a little bit before, averaging 24 points per game on the season. That includes 72% from the line, making both of them right now. And so far, Thomas has been helpful in this game as well in terms of his production, especially with tea time for some Magic fans. As Parker quickly gets the pass, 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Stutz goes in the post. Again, mismatch with Jennings, but Jennings gets the board. He's going to bring it down as he's going to bring this court down the floor. Stops. Allman cuts around the corner, jumps up, pulls for the mid-range, gets it to go.
And you saw as soon as he released it that was going to go into the cup. Seems like he's definitely in the zone tonight. The ball is just flowing off his hands with ease.
Yeah, 12 points in the first half coming in the past couple minutes. Those are his first 2 points of the third quarter. Rayson passes out. Smart move to pass out. Maurice Jones got it from Parker. Parker helps set the pick. Drives inside, gets the whistle, gets the contact, and the foul.
And one, Maurice Jones, kind of a broken play, didn't know what to do at the top of the key. He decides to drive hesitation dribble, gets the defender on his hip, takes the contact and knocks it down, and one. Maurice Jones hoping to make it within 14 with a free throw here.
And Maurice Jones trying to help his cause on the night in terms of how he's been playing, able to make the free throw up to 12 points, pardon me, on the night. That goes 3 for 3 from the free throw line so far. As this is going to be set up in the Magic. Quickly shot, Almond. Talk about unconscious. Already 5 points on the floor in the past few minutes.
Logan Stutz drawing attention to the ball. Might be something on it, maybe a dollop of sweat.
Possibly. I think that's exactly why the towel's going to come out to help rub down that ball. It's of course best to make sure there isn't moisture on the ball in terms of handling the basketball in case it leads to turnover situations or the dribbling going awry. Rayson meanwhile passes to Otley Jr. Step inside the three-point line, misses, and that's going to be out of bounds off of Stutz. Magic get the possession.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because he had the inside position, would have been an easy 2 points had he secured the offensive rebound. And that last shot from Moncton was really huge, Justin, because it gets them back up 17 points. Windsor had it down to about 12. Now the momentum's back in Moncton's favor right now.
+5 in the past 3 minutes. As Anderson, contested shot with 7 on the shot clock. Talk about that, the Canadian. Absolutely dominant three-pointer once again.
Anthony Anderson doing a great job from beyond the three-point line, making it a 20-point game.
I should really say, since he's from Massachusetts, the dominant scorer in Canada. As this one's going to be tapped in, Anthony Otley Jr. for the putback.
Well, Anthony Anderson has basically been adopted by the whole country of Canada, so we can call him our honorary Canadian. How about that? As Jones pokes the ball away.
And they're going to say it's off of Anderson. In fact, it is. Good awareness from Jones to notice that it was off of the leg of Anderson as that went out of bounds, setting up the Express possession. Just down 84-66 now.
Yeah, 3:13 to go, so the Express probably going to push themselves to try and get this down to hopefully get it down to about 12 again. The best case scenario, you hopefully get into single digits before the fourth quarter.
And meanwhile, Jason Callis is in. Eric Parker can't get the ball to go into the hoop. Logan Stutz trying to get the reach in to strip it away in the post. Or on the defensive rebound, I should say, and that's going to set up a possession or reset for the Magic.
Yeah, 3:01 left here in the third quarter.
And that's the team's 4th foul already. As this is less than 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Ahmed slowly gets it now to Jennings, guarded by Stutz. Brazen going to come around the corner. Anderson trying to cut by him. Unable to get the bounce off the rim, but look at the second chance. Brent Jennings able to put in the putback. And look at this, the Express are pushing the tempo. Brazen going to try and pass it. Look at the bullet steal. Anthony Anderson with the awareness to get the steal. Sets up Ahmed. Can he get a triple? No. And Calist unable to handle the rebound. Maurice Jones, he's going to go in a 3-on-1 situation. Anthony Anderson called for the reach in.
Yeah, and that's a situation again where Anthony's team doesn't have numbers, so he's going to commit the foul and stop the ball. Let his team have a full defensive possession. 2:21 left here in the third quarter.
Blake Rowan now back into the game. Braylon Raisin will come out. Maurice Jones, pardon me, will go to the line to shoot 2. And again, this has been a back and forth quarter. We were talking about how it was a +10 advantage. It's down to a +3 advantage. That is how the cookie has essentially crumbled. And it's crumbled back to the way you expect from a wizard.
Well, as you see, Maurice Jones knocked down on a pair there. It makes it an 18-point game. 68-86. Perfect palindromes.
And meanwhile, Almond going to try and cut towards the center side. Inside the paint, passes out. Calist had the pump fake as Brent Jennings sizing up over Parker. Gets the jump shot to go.
Brent Jennings heating up. In that game that the Moncton Magic, played against Windsor last week, it was Brent Jennings that had 21 points.
And meanwhile, it's going to be Stutz getting the ball quickly wide open. Maurice Jones can't take advantage, but Stutz gets the second chance. Maurice Jones, cross-court pass, receiving that one, passing it again. Bad pass, intercepted by Almond. Almond will lead the charge, pulls up for three. Yes, he's got it. Oh my goodness.
What a hot hand Corey Almond has had tonight. It's not even the fourth quarter yet.
20 points, and that ties a team high in points. And this is off the bench, folks. As Chad Frazier trying to get two different picks, spinning through four different defenders, and this time he's going to draw the reach in.
Chad Frazier trying to help his team get back into this contest after a bit of a run from Moncton, so he's going to go back to the free throw line.
And before people start asking, of course, last season, of course, the Moncton Magic were at one point called the Moncton Miracles.
Yep.
Then, during the offseason, new ownership comes in for the Moncton Magic now, rebrands it to the Magic, and now officially we have Magic made out of nice little miracles. Eric Parker makes the first free throw.
Yeah, and I like the colors, I like the jerseys, I like everything. I love the head coach, I love the style of basketball, and I love the Moncton Magic.
And meanwhile, the Moncton Magic, they're hoping to keep their offensive magic together. They are up by 21. Now, this was at one point a 12-point lead in this third quarter, being cut down by the Express. Almond, can he keep it unconscious? My goodness! 23 points for Corey Almond.
1 minute to play in the quarter, 1 minute.
1 minute left in the third quarter. 24-point lead for Moncton. There's another turnover.
And this is going to go right to Almond. Assist right to Jennings. Tries to rip it down. Gets the slam.
Fantastic feed from Terry Thomas to Brent Jennings. Nothing gets the bench going quite like a slam dunk on a fast break.
That was Corey Almond helping set that up as that went back down the floor from Thomas to Almond to set that up for the slam to Jennings. As this was tipped out of bounds, Express will have the inbound. 12 seconds on the shot clock, 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. Corey Almond tying a second best season high in points per game, the highest 34 against the Island Storm on December 26th. As Maurice Jones, spin move over to defenders, draws the whistle. And that's going to be Alan Al-Stewart on the fadeaway jump shot. That's going to bring Maurice Jones to the free throw line. Al-Stewart with his third foul of the game. Maurice Jones looking to add on to his 12 points. 5 of those coming from the free throw line tonight. Just 3 of 14 tonight shooting. Absolutely horrendous shooting, whatever way you look at it, Brett.
Yeah, unfortunately the numbers don't lie, and sometimes you have a tough night. These Windsor Express just came off a 9-day road trip out east. Just got back yesterday. Calist for a quick three, and it's good.
And Calist, the former KW tight end, able to make the triple in the corner. And that means the shot clock is off. 99-71 here in the third quarter as Jones will help set up for the final play. Jones, quick shot, trying to get his own miss, but he still gets it in. And Magic are trying to rush. They got maybe half a second. That's going to be the end of the third quarter. On a bit of a confusing play, Maurice Jones was ready to charge in the paint to get his own miss, gets the triple, and gets it to 99-74 to end off the third, Brett.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We'll collect our stats and facts from the first 3 quarters, and we'll come back here for the beginning of the fourth.
And we'll be back from the WFCU Center in just a few moments. You're watching Knoxstrom TV. Magic lead, 99-74.
Let's just do the post game here.
Okay.
All right.
No sense.
Are you guys ready? All right, on your mark, get set, go! Come on, fans, cheer on. We need to hear it. Come on, guys, come on, you can do it all the way over here, fans. Come on. All right, what train is going to be? Come on, let's go, you can do it. Oh, such a close game. Congratulations, guys. Give them a big round of applause. They deserve it.
Hey fans, I just want to remind you that Batter Bus Services is the official bus transportation company of the Windsor Express. Need to book a charter bus? Contact Batter at batterbus.com. And fans, you can check out what's happening with your local sports team in Sports Express magazine. Look for the latest issue in your reader.
And welcome back, everyone, to the WFCU Center. As Maurice Jones was able to make a shot that I think he wasn't expecting at first to go in with the triple. which caused a bit of confusion before the last shot of the quarter attempt by the Magic, with about 2.5 seconds really to have that shot. Regardless, 99-74 for the Magic coming out into the fourth quarter. Justin Prince alongside Brett Hedges as we're just about set to go, Brett.
Yeah, let's go with Aaron Sanders with some out-of-town scoreboard.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. The Hurricanes prevail over the River Lions, 107-89. And then as for the Highlanders Storm game, that's going to go right down to the wire. 13 seconds to go in that one. Highlanders 115, the Island Storm 111. We'll send it back to you guys.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Aaron.
And thank you very much, Brett, for sending it to Aaron for these important scores. As we're set to go for the start of the fourth quarter, Al Stewart gets it now to Allman. Allman, big time attempt, just could not get it to go that time. He has been red hot tonight, unable to get that fadeaway contested to go. As the Express have their first possession on the floor, Eric Parker, Braylon Raisin, Anthony Utley Jr., Chad Frazier, as well as Clay Krellin. Krellin drives inside, contested, gets the contact and the whistle, as he's going to go to the line to shoot two for the first time in his NBLC career.
Nice job by Clay Krellin getting himself involved. Going to go one-on-one, draw some contact, try and get himself some points, try and get his team back into it. Obviously a tough task, down 25, but nothing is impossible. The Windsor Express could get hot. You saw in the third quarter there, they went to the three-point shot, and that helped them cut that deficit to 12. We saw a late three-point shot from Maurice Jones, but really the three-point shot, nothing that they could rely on in this game.
Yeah, that is the exact thing, really. 4 of 17, the Express are from deep. Jennings, he's going to get a triple himself, able to get that one to go.
And it seems like the Moncton Magic have hit 17 threes as compared to just 17 three-point attempts from Windsor. So it's just, when one team's hot, the other team's not. It's kind of how it is. It's obviously a game of runs. Windsor put up a good run at the beginning of the third, but...
And Chad Frazier, meanwhile, unable to make that. To break your analogy, it is 16 made three-pointers from the Magic. As Caliste having to back up, gets the spin shot, and whistle draws the N1 play, and Eric Parker's going to be caught for the foul.
Yeah, we've seen that kind of play from Caliste last year. Was a member of the KW Titans with Serge Langus. You see it again here today, just a quick release. He's very good on the perimeter. Can't leave him alone, can't give him much space.
And a bunch of substitutions being set up. Meanwhile, Caliste, we should note, of course, this Moncton Magic squad traded for his signing rights in the preseason, but he was in Spain until recently, coming back now to the Magic. And of course, completing that three-point play. Just his second game back in the NBLC since that return from Spain. Raisin will go to the line, possibly, as he drove right to the basket into a crowd of different defenders.
Yeah, Kevin Farrell-Thomas going to be called for the foul as Raisin drove to the basket.
Yeah, Farrell-Thomas, his second foul, team second already in the first minute and 20 seconds of the fourth quarter. As on the floor for the Magic, it is Corey Allman along with Jason Caliste, Al Stewart, Brent Jennings, and rounding it out, Kevin Farrell-Thomas. Raisin goes 2 for 2 at the line. Express 30 of 36 from the free throw line tonight. Still have a big-time deficit to go through, especially with the Magic shooting 52%. And this is in part because of this guy. Allman adds to those totals just like that with another triple.
And Raisin looking to make something happen at the other end. He is blocked by Farrell-Thomas.
And with that block, is going to set the fast break. Quickly gets it to Allman. Allman's going to step on the line. That's going to be a turnover.
And he was trying to feed his teammate, too, for an open three. That would be Caliste. But it's going to go the other way for the Windsor Express. It's a 31-point lead now for the Magic.
And
10-16 left in the fourth.
And Corey Allman leading the way in scoring by far, 26 points. 7 of those, 7 made three-pointers on the night as well. This is a second best on the season in terms of points performance. Chad Frazier, he's got the mid-range jump shot.
Chad Frazier hasn't been afraid to go inside the house of the Moncton Magic defense. He's got himself double digits tonight.
And with
a hard effort.
And a hard effort because now he's also the leading scorer for the Express with 17 with that shot. Caliste, he's going to try and make a shot. That one missed. Harris gets the rebound. And Montre Harris with a double-double, 10 points, 12 rebounds now at this point. Chad Frazier, he's going to try and push to the defense. Wide open, Anthony Otley Jr. with the back door.
Beautiful play from Chad Frazier to find Anthony Otley Jr. on the opposite post. Goes off glass for two. It's a 27-point game, 9:30 to go here in the fourth.
And there's still a lot of time to play here. If you're the Express, you got to start forcing some misses. This is going to help. This one stripped away from Braylon Rayson. Anthony Otley Jr. gets it across the floor, drives, trying to get the screen and the pick, I should say, with Farrell Thomas. As this is going to go down low to Harris. He's rejected. Brent Jennings getting the board as this is going to be the Magic. Trying to draw the charge, pardon me, was Kevin Farrell Thomas. As this is going to be Al Stewart driving through two different players, but rejected. Crowell able to get the rejection. Frazier going to bring it down. Three different defenders inside. Three Express players with them. That's Crowell going to have to reset as Rayson going to pull up for the triple. Yes, sir!
Big triple for Braylon Rayson. Cuts into the deficit. He's going to make it 24, but with 8:30 to go.
And the Magic will have the inbound quickly here as Jeremy Williams will prepare to come back into the game. Meanwhile, possibly looking to make some adjustments here. Down on the stretch with a bit of a small ball lineup. Again, Almond, my goodness, you are unconscious. 29 points, 8 triples for Corey Almond.
He might get close to that season high.
That season high again, 34 points. In that game, he had 8 threes. So he has also tied a season high in threes as Chad Frazier cuts through the defense, gets the layup to go in traffic. And quickly pushing the tempo, Jason Callist. As the Magic going to set up the pick. Contested shot in the lane, but getting the offensive rebound. Still shot clock not reset. Almond getting the fadeaway shot. That one no good. Rebound by Anthony Otley Jr. As here comes the Express, they got to start getting this comeback again, once again moving. Chad Frazier again, nice pick and roll setup, and that's going to go to DeMontre Harris.
Well, if there's anything, with 7.5 minutes to go, we're going to have a timeout from Joe Salerno. The two things that Windsor can take is that Chad Frazier and DeMontre Harris certainly work well together. We've seen a lot of good dishes and a lot of good finishes between the two in tonight's game. So that may be something where a budding relationship is forming. That may be something they can use forward. But unfortunately, the lights are just being shot out by the Moncton Magic here tonight, Justin. 17 threes in the game. That is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
You know what's more ridiculous? 18 threes, because that is now the updated stat with that 18 of 38. 47% from deep. 50.6% as a team from everywhere else on just 14 free throw attempts. That's saying something when you're in a negative 17 free throws made at disadvantage and you're still up this big.
The Windsor Express have been able to draw fouls and get to the free throw line, but like we said, the outstanding shooting of the Moncton Magic has been far away the story of today's game. It's a 23-point game right now. Obviously, the Windsor Express could put their nose to the grindstone and start getting some stops, start flushing in some buckets. But it's going to be a tough task against a team that is as well coached as Joe Salerno. We talked about it. You and Aaron talked about it in the pregame. These are two of the best coaches. These are the two best coaches in the league in terms of wins. I believe. One other coach, I believe, has over 100. But obviously, there's a lot of great coaches here, and two of them are on display here tonight. And one of the team's coaches is happy to see his team shooting it the way they are.
And you know, the way I see it there, Brett, too, this is like a rematch of the 2014 NBLC finals. I mean, different teams and whatnot, but all in all, both of these clubs and both of these coaches know their X and O's, especially when it comes to fixing it in with all these other players.
Absolutely.
And meanwhile, Coach Salerno, not too pleased with that turnover as he was able to get the nice pass down the baseline out of bounds. Express have the possession here. Thank you very much for those thoughts, Aaron. I definitely agree with you once again with that. Braylon Rayson, meanwhile. Harris going to pass it back to Rayson. He's going to go for the fall away two-pointer. Yes, he's got it.
Braylon Rayson with a tough shot, knocks it down, fading away into the corner. Makes it 90 points for the Windsor Express, 111-90.
And Rayson just 3 of 7 shooting tonight. as he's now up to 9 points on the night. That one shot, Anthony Cox does not get the lucky roll. This one tapped out, as that's going to be off of Coy Crowin. It's going to be the Magic still keeping the possession with a fresh 24, Brett.
Yeah, when I spoke with Coach Joe Salerno, I asked him about just the fan base in Moncton. This has got to be, has to be up there with their best starts as a franchise. You see Callis with a big 3 there, and he says, yeah, they're aware that they're doing pretty well for the franchise itself. The city of Moncton is hungry for a winner, and he's just happy that they're able to provide a great product and a great team for the great fans of Moncton, New Brunswick. So he's a great guy that loves the city that he's a part of, Coach Joe Salerno, and obviously he's doing very well in the new community there.
And you know, basically, I talked to him during the draft combine, gentlemen, and he basically said this was all business, and the ability to bring the community together for more Moncton basketball is just a big testament that he knows his stuff. And a lot of people need to realize that coaches aren't there just to be on the court; they're there off the court. So 24/7, this is their mission to bring everybody together.
Yeah, being key members of the community, we can speak about that with Bill Jones. They're having a youth camp next week just to talk about that. So it just goes to show that these are 2 great pillars for their communities, not just great basketball minds. Cox down low, goes off glass, can't knock it down.
And Cox unable to make that shot inside. As you mentioned, Express going to push the tempo down 114-90. As Chad Frazier working his way around 3 defenders, can't get the bounce in on the shot. As that bounced off the left side of the rim, Callist will bring it back down, steps back, able to get separation from Otley Jr., misses. And Logan Stutz will get his 9th rebound, just 1 rebound away from the double-double, 15 points on the night.
Yeah, and Logan has nearly averaged a double-double for most games this season.
And Logan Stutz trying to get a triple, gets it to go.
And he's knocked down 3 triples in this game.
Yeah, 50% from deep. Again, getting ready to charge for that potential rebound. Gets the lead back down to 21. Coach Salerno getting some counters ready to go. This shot up, Marquise Clayton unable to get it to go. Stutz able to get the rebound. That's going to give him the double-double. 18 points, 10 rebounds. He's going to get it right back. Can he make it 21? Yes, he can!
Logan Stutz with another big 3.
Logan Stutz, 21 points. Second time tonight, able to get bursts of 6 straight points from those triples. Cuts it to 18 points. As Almond sheds through the defense, wide open for the layup, gets it to go.
When you're hot, take the shot. Corey Allman does a nice decision there, drives to the basket there, didn't have to shoot from 3 to get some points.
Here's the thing, there's a difference between hot and able to drive through and get to a wide open situation. That was just his 3rd main shot inside the 3-point line tonight, Brett.
Yeah.
As foul, meanwhile, on the Magic, substitutions coming onto the floor. Callis will come out, Terry Thomas will come back in, Allman will get a breather.
And I'm just looking toward the future with this group. When you've got guys like Callis, Corey Allman coming off the bench, what does that say about depth on your team? It's fantastic.
And they do have some depth. You have to be having a ton of depth to be successful there. And able to get the basket inside Braylon Raisin. Just shows what you need, essentially, in this type of league. One of those comparisons, say, to London's depth, for example, as they are at the top of the Central Division for a reason now. Anthony Anderson, meanwhile, gets it to Cox as Cox misses the shot. Stutz gets another rebound.
That'll be number 10 for him.
And Raisin gets it to go with the triple. He's got 5 consecutive points. And hold on a second, folks. This game is not done yet. 15-point game again.
Yeah, we've definitely gotten into the conversation here of being competitive again.
The reason I say that, there was one game that was a similar situation with about 2 minutes to go. Guess what? The Express came out back from behind to win by 6. Moncton making it a bit much harder as Marquise Clayton gets the layup inside.
They're going to have a warning for touching the ball after it went through the hoop, just a bench warning. 3:04 left to go here in the 4th quarter, 118-101 for the Magic.
And the Magic still has this lead. As you can see, Raisin, hard screen from Stutz, and that's going to draw the travel because I think that was where Raisin wanted to pass to. Just Stutz had the hard pick. And that's going to lead to that offensive foul situation with that travel. Look at this bullet pass, though. Terry Thomas getting the quick pass. Quickly trying to break any kind of defensive press. Stumped back into the game for the Express. That's not going to matter because this is a missed shot from 3. Cox able to get it. Anderson will start winding it down. 2:36 to go in the 4th. Williams with the pick. Bullet pass. Williams for 3. Can he add to the lead? No, he cannot. Stump gets the board. And Chad Frazier will once again dribble it around, trying to size up Williams. Down low in the post. Draws the whistle. And it's going to be a holding call, I believe. In fact, I believe it is, and that might be, in fact, it will be a Moncton foul on Jeremy Williams. His 5th foul of the game. And with 2:19 to go, the Express needing a shot for sure. Chad Frazier gets the pass. 15 on the clock. Whistle again, another reach in. This one's going to be on Anthony Anderson.
2:17 left to go here in the 4th quarter.
And getting to how things are really, a lot of things to look forward to if you're, for example, the Moncton squad, because Moncton, as soon as they head out of town here, they got the back-to-back game, the other half of that against the London Lightning. This one missed, meanwhile, from Braylon Raisin.
Yeah, they got a tough matchup. They got to go into London tomorrow night, then they got to go to Niagara on Sunday, so it doesn't get easy for Moncton after this. But these are what these kind of road trips test your team, what they're going to be able to do.
Exactly. It's going to be testing exactly how you are as a group, especially with a lot of veterans. That's one of them. Anthony Anderson with the triple. Makes it a 20-point game, starts pulling out the daggers. Chad Frazier takes that dagger right back out. Makes it back to an 18-point game. If you're the Express, you got to start putting some intense pressure if you want any kind of chance here. This could steal up the game right here for the Magic. Clayton calling for the pick, able to drive over. Stutz trying to get the contact from the second bounce, able to get the offensive board to get it in. Marquise Clayton, that is going to put that dagger, taken back out, right back on in as the Express back down by 20. Chad Frazier drives through the defense, again misses, but there's the nice tap coming in there from Shane Stump. Shane Stump brings it back to 18. Less than 1 minute to go here in Windsor. And when this game is all said and done, really, it was for sure a competitive matchup. This is going to be the reach-in right here. The Express will now fall for the 2nd straight game, 7-10 on the season. Once this game is finished off, as coming to the game for the first time, Mike Lucier. Meanwhile, for the Moncton Magic, they still have, once again, a lot to still look forward to as a group, still once again starting off getting more and more momentum with a potentially huge win to start off their Central Division road trip. Anthony Anderson misses. Rebound at Cox. Terry Thomas going to have to put it away. The fadeaway misses. Williams almost got the offensive board. As Braylon Raisin will bring it down. This is going to be possibly the last shot of the game as Raisin misses. Rebounded by Clayton. He's going to push the tempo, and they are not going to let go of that gas pedal. Mike Lucier able to poke it loose. Clayton gets it back. Going to try and put it in. Stutz able to get the block and the rebound. And the Express are just going to wind things down. The Moncton Magic win once again. Hold on 1 second. Braylon Raisin draws the contact for a 3-point situation to the line at the whistle. As joining me as we prepare for the post-game show with Raisin now at the line, Aaron Sanders.
Well, you know, there's one of those plays that you rarely expect, especially near the end of the game when it's already decided. But once again, Braylon Raisin, you know, takes the initiative. He wants to add more points to the board, make this a moral victory for the Windsor Express.
And that's going to help with that. Able to make all 3, quickly gets the free throws in. And now the Magic win once again with a strong victory, 123-108 the final, as they continue their winning ways, continuing the winning streak they've been moving on. Now 3 straight victories, and this is a good way to start off your road trip. Now it's time for the Knockstrom pregame. Aaron Sanders once again, as mentioned, joining me alongside me, Justin Prince. Aaron?
Well, JP, like you said before, this is a great way for the Moncton Magic to start their Western road trip. Well, the Windsor Express, you really got to look at certain things. Their first game back in the new year at the WFCU Center, but there's a lot of positives you can take in, and another positive too is they don't have to play here again, or another game for that matter, until next week where they have the St. John's Edge in town. So if you're the Windsor Express, what are some of the positives you got to take in after all of this game, and what do you have to adjust on?
Well, I think one of the main positives tonight was Chad Frazier by far. The way he was able to penetrate and bring the hustle essentially to try and set up his teammates. We've seen that with the two-man game with him and DeMontre Harris that helped him get his double-double. We've seen that trying to pass and draw some contact, not even being fearful of any of the defense. I think you need that as a unit, so to speak, to bring your team to the line for those kind of situations. They had the advantage just in the free throw line. It just was tonight, like Brent mentioned at the beginning of the third quarter, they had absolutely no shooting really on the perimeter for the most part, because if you look at that three-point percentage, 8 of 23 compared to a 20 of 45, you're going to get blown out in all kinds of situations when you allow 20 three-pointers.
And yes, I'm amazed at Trey Anderson too. I mean, he's really stepped it up. And once again, firepower is being applied inside for the Windsor Express, but they weren't able to capitalize on that. But now, if you look at the Moncton Magic, they got the London Lightning tomorrow. What are you carrying in with you aside from this good victory?
I think right now, one of the main things speaking with some of the coaches across the league that has really stood out to me is, to some, it's about a game-to-game situation. I think when you have London as your opponent tomorrow, it's that exact same situation, Aaron, because London has a very deep team. Very deep as in they have 10 guys that can be in all 5 of the starting spots if they so wanted to. So it's going to be a tough challenge compared to completely different animal compared to Windsor tonight. They're going to have to deal with a team that's going to be very strong on the inside, very strong, and will take advantage if you leave them open on the perimeter. Team that will push the tempo as much as they can to prove they can swallow the ball down your throat. It's going to be that kind of a tough matchup compared to tonight, where it was a bit of slower pace and their offense was, again, just on fire.
Discipline and tempo, that's all under Joe Salermo's system and much more. For Bill Jones, a long rest for them until their next home game. Once again, that will be next Saturday right here at the WFCU Center, where the St. John's Edge will come to town and put in a good game. And then as for Knockstrom, tomorrow we're back at Budweiser Gardens. Well, you'll be back there, JP. I won't see you folks until next Saturday. But the Moncton Magic will play against the London Lightning at Budweiser Garden. Tip-off will be at 7 p.m. We'll be on for the pregame 5 minutes before. So any final thoughts before we head off here in the 519, JP?
Yes, it's going to be one of those games, like you said, 123-108 the final. That's going to wrap things up. Pardon me, Aaron. Once again, you've been watching Knockstrom Digital Media, and thank you very much for tuning in from across the Rose City and from the Maritimes. Once again, the Moncton Magic move themselves to 10-8 on the season with the victory tonight with their third straight. You have been watching Knockstrom Digital Media, an excellent producing company in southwestern Ontario. For Aaron Sanders, for Brett Hedges, for the rest of our crew, including Izzy Cronin, I'm Justin Prince, saying good night and good luck. And make sure you stay safe in that beautiful snow.